Welcome to War Bios, the podcast that delves into the complexities of military history, where strategy meets human drama. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore one of the most pivotal battles in American history, the Battle of Fallen Timbers. This clash of arms took place on August 20, 1794, near present-day Toledo, Ohio, and marked a turning point in the struggle for control of the Northwest Territory. As we set the stage for this epic conflict, let's journey back to the late 18th century when the region was a vast wilderness of forests, rivers, and Native American tribes. The area that would become the battleground was a scenic landscape of rolling hills, wooded valleys, and the meandering Maumee River. It was here, amidst the towering trees and dense underbrush, that the Native American Confederacy had lived for generations, with the Miami tribe being one of the most prominent. The historical context of the Battle of Fallen Timbers is deeply rooted in the Northwest Indian War, which began in the late 1780s. The war was sparked by American expansion into the region, which led to the displacement of Native American tribes from their ancestral lands. The Native American Confederacy, led by Little Turtle and other prominent leaders, resisted American encroachment through a series of raids, skirmishes, and battles. One notable example was the Battle of the Wabash, also known as St. Clair's Defeat, which took place on November 4, 1791. This battle was a decisive victory for the Native American Confederacy, with over 600 American soldiers killed and many more wounded. The defeat was a significant blow to American prestige and led to increased calls for military action against the Native American tribes. In response to St. Clair's defeat, President George Washington appointed General Arthur St. Clair as the governor of the Northwest Territory, with the task of negotiating treaties with the Native American tribes and establishing American control over the region. However, St. Clair's efforts were met with resistance from the Native American Confederacy, which led to a series of violent confrontations. In 1792, President Washington appointed General Anthony Wayne to lead a new expedition against the Native American Confederacy. Wayne's Legion of the United States, as it came to be known, was a well-trained and disciplined force that was determined to assert American control over the Northwest Territory. The Legion spent months training and preparing for battle, with Wayne implementing a series of innovative tactics and strategies that would ultimately prove decisive. As tensions escalated between the American forces and the Native American Confederacy, it became clear that a major confrontation was inevitable. The stage was set for a dramatic showdown between General Wayne's Legion and the Native American Confederacy, with the fate of the Northwest Territory hanging in the balance. The battlefield itself was a scenic landscape of rolling hills, wooded valleys, and the meandering Maumee River. The area was teeming with life, from the towering trees to the dense underbrush where Native American warriors lay in wait. General Anthony Wayne's Legion of the United States, a well-trained and disciplined force, had been marching through the wilderness for days, determined to assert American control over the Northwest Territory. As the two forces collided, the sound of drums and war cries filled the air, echoing off the trees. The Native American Confederacy, led by Little Turtle and Blue Jacket, was a formidable foe, with warriors from various tribes united in their resistance against American expansion. They had chosen this battlefield carefully, using the terrain to their advantage as they launched a series of fierce attacks against Wayne's Legion. The battle raged on for hours, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Americans, however, held their ground, thanks to Wayne's innovative tactics and the discipline of his troops. As the day wore on, the Native American warriors began to falter, their lines weakening as they faced the relentless onslaught of the American army. One notable example of American bravery was the charge led by Captain William Campbell, who rallied his men and launched a daring assault against the Native American positions. Despite being outnumbered, Campbell's troops fought valiantly, breaking through the enemy lines and sending the Native American warriors into disarray. As the battle reached its climax, General Wayne himself rode onto the battlefield, his presence inspiring his troops to fight on with renewed vigor. The tide of the battle began to turn in favor of the Americans, as they slowly but surely pushed the Native American Confederacy back. In the end, It was a decisive victory for the Americans, with the Native American Confederacy suffering heavy losses and their resistance beginning to crumble. As General Wayne surveyed the battlefield, he knew that this victory marked a turning point in the struggle for control of the Northwest Territory. As we reflect on this pivotal moment in American history, let's consider the words of General Wayne himself, who wrote, "The Indians were defeated and their power broken. The country is now open to settlement, and the inhabitants may enjoy the blessings of peace and security." These words capture the essence of the Battle of Fallen Timbers, a clash of arms that shaped the future of the Northwest Territory and paved the way for American expansion. The Treaty of Greenville, signed on August 3, 1795, marked a significant turning point in the history of the Northwest Territory. The treaty, negotiated between General Anthony Wayne and representatives of the Native American Confederacy, established a boundary between American territory and Native American lands, with the United States gaining control over much of present-day Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, and Wisconsin. This treaty not only marked the beginning of the end of Native American resistance in the region, but also paved the way for westward expansion and the growth of the United States. The years following the Battle of Fallen Timbers saw a significant decline in the power and influence of the Native American Confederacy. Many Native American tribes, realizing that resistance against American expansion was futile, began to negotiate treaties and cede their lands to the United States government. The Miami tribe, for example, ceded much of their land in present-day Indiana and Ohio, while the Shawnee tribe, led by Tecumseh, continued to resist American expansion, ultimately leading to the War of 1812. The legacy of the Battle of Fallen Timbers can be seen in the westward expansion of the United States. The battle marked a significant milestone in the country's growth as it opened up new lands for settlement and trade. The construction of the Erie Canal, completed in 1825, further facilitated westward expansion by providing a water route between the Great Lakes and the Atlantic Ocean. The impact of the Battle of Fallen Timbers can also be seen in the lives of the Native American tribes who fought against American expansion. Many tribes were forcibly removed from their lands, leading to significant social, cultural, and economic disruption. The Trail of Tears, for example, which took place in 1838 AD 39, saw the forced relocation of thousands of Cherokee Indians from their ancestral lands in Georgia to Indian Territory, resulting in the deaths of thousands of people. As we reflect on the Battle of Fallen Timbers and its aftermath, it's essential to consider the words of historian John Subden, who wrote, "The battle was a watershed in American history, marking the beginning of the end of Native American resistance in the Old Northwest." These words capture the significance of this pivotal battle, which shaped the course of American history and had far-reaching consequences for the Native American tribes who fought against American expansion. In conclusion, the Battle of Fallen Timbers was a turning point in American history, marking the beginning of the end of Native American resistance in the Northwest Territory. The treaty that followed, the Treaty of Greenville, paved the way for westward expansion and the growth of the United States. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the Battle of Fallen Timbers. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.